and we're talking zoning, a battle playing out differently in different parts of our region. In Alexandria, there was a meeting last night about a plan to implement changes similar to Arlington's missing middle. Well, Alexandria Now's Vernon Miles is live with us now to break down how that meeting went. And Vernon, take it away. What exactly did happen?
Yeah, so this has been in the works for over a year now. People have been really excited about this big, ambitious zoning project for Alexandria, and it landed last night with a big ol'
Yeah.
Like a lot of city leaders looked at it, and for as ambitious as it's been talked up, and it is, the big headline here is getting rid of single-family zoning. At the same time, the real issue here is that that's probably not going to happen as much as people might expect. Some of the zoning restrictions still apply, and so when you get down into the nitty-gritty of this, not all that much is changing in some ways.
So I thought the whole issue was to try to come up with affordable housing too, not just to create more, but affordable housing. Did that even get talked about, or was it all just a big thud no matter what was proposed?
They kind of go hand in hand together. The idea is that creating more housing will eventually, as you boost up that supply, that it'll eventually make housing more affordable. And, as part of that, they did talk a little bit about plans to create more specifically affordable housing. One of the biggest areas of change will probably be for industrial zones. Those are places right now where you might see stuff that's not pretty standard uses. Things like the chicken slaughterhouse got mentioned, things like rock climbing gyms, and those might be areas where you can build housing now or up in the future. But really, the big headline thing here was the single-family housing, and that kind of landed with a little bit of a thud last night. And some of the city leaders said that they really wanted to see more. And they wanted to see less of the restrictions on what can be built in those single-family areas. But it looks like that might not happen, at least right now.
Real quickly, it seems like Alexandria is getting around the idea of hey, we can get rid of single-family homes. That's what I'm hearing from you?
No, and a lot of people will be very panicked to hear that, we're getting rid of single-family homes. The discussion here is that there's options to build things other than single-family homes where places are zoned right now for single-family housing. How much that actually happens, that's still to be determined, because they still have to fit, any of the new developments that you build there still have to fit on the same setbacks, the same lot sizes, so you really can't build more dense than you already have with the current homes.
All right, Vernon Miles with the argument there in Alexandria. And of course, as we said, this is a two-city issue. Exactly. In light of that rezoning 2 months ago, Arlington County actually started accepting applications for plans to build 2 to 6 unit homes where previously only single-family homes were allowed. 5 projects have been approved and 18 are now under review. But now, some neighbors are banding together to fight back. Joe DeVoe with Arlington Now is live with us to break down what this is about. So you knew it was coming. This has been contentious all along. Now we're seeing it come to the fore. Tell us what's happening now, Joe.
So there was a group of neighbors in a neighborhood in Arlington that got together and basically told a developer who had announced their plans to build a duplex that they legally could not do that because of a 1938 restriction that was in the deed for the home, saying no more than one home could be built on the lot. And they won. The developer ended up backing down and agreeing to build a single-family home on the lot that it had purchased in this neighborhood.
But the new codes that we've been fighting or been discussed over the last 2 years or whatever don't negate that deed?
Right. So the county zoning code, as I learned, has a provision that says whatever is more restrictive, if there are 2 provisions in conflict with each other, the more restrictive one wins out. And so in the absence of these old deeds from the 30s, the new zoning codes for missing middle went out. But when you've got some of these homes with these very old provisions in them, those that are more restrictive, those went out.
All right, Joe, I know this is an issue that is far from over.
That's
the
heavy.
issues continue, the fights continue. We'll have to see what both Alexandria and Arlington do about the need for more housing and how to make it equitable, and also take into account some of their historical aspects. We'll have to see how it plays out.
It's a lot to have to actually get a developer to back down, because he spent money on plans, he spent money on architecture and everything else. For him to actually back down is a lot, but you better believe he's going to come back and he's going to have something to say, and the developers will now start banding together. So we're going to watch this one.
Never underestimate what residents,
now, residents, way to go. I see the power of the little guy.
Okay.